as a member of the Temple University Board of Trustees, Lewis Katz is a thoughtful voice of authority who places the best interests of Temple students above all other considerations. By the authority vested in me on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon Lewis Katz the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto.
First, I want to thank my colleagues on the Board of Trustees. I want to thank our chairman. Not only is he as good a chairman as I've ever seen of any organization, but he's also become one of my closest friends. And for that, I thank my university, my faculty, wonderful speakers, my co-honorees, and you, the class of 2014. So here we are, the day some of you thought would never come. Before we do anything else, let's just take in this scene. This is the day, the milestone. Look around at all the people up there who love you, who adore you, and who honor you, up there. Remember how much they helped you reach this day, and most importantly, remember how proud they are of all of you. I just had a thought. This would be an opportune time to ask them for more money. He is so jealous that I get some funny laughs. Been that way 50 years. Always jealous of my jokes. Temple University, what a place. Maybe you think it's just a chapter, a stopping off place to grab some wisdom. You leave here ready to face that other place, the place they call the real world. But you may also find that you carry this place called Temple with you into that world. You may find, as I have, that it will always be a part of your life because you're Temple made. You're Temple made. We're Temple made. I come to this campus, I came here, I know you're not going to believe it because of my face, 55 years ago, as a poor, insecure, fatherless kid from Camden, New Jersey. Tuition was $350 a semester. My mother was a better planner than your mother's. Without Temple giving me a scholarship, my mom had 2 jobs and 2 kids, and my dad died when I was 1. So it wasn't an easy time. Without that scholarship, my future would have been terribly terribly bleak. I was scared. I was so unsure of myself. And I remember my first day feeling like I was on another planet. I was lost. I pushed myself to get involved. I made friends 50 years ago who found their way into my heart and into my soul. And believe it or not, 50 years later, 3 of them are sitting up behind me 50 years later. Trustee, I want you to listen to this. Trustee Phil Richards, who founded North Star Insurance Brokerage, one of the largest insurance brokerage firms in the entire United States. Stand up, Phil. And next to him, Bob Rovner, who became the youngest state senator in the history of Pennsylvania. Bob. And the other trustee is an aspiring comedian who is still looking for his first break in show business. You know, we've been teasing each other for 50 years. One night, we went to a basketball game together when we had he was a partner, we bought the New Jersey Nets, and we were sitting together, and I wanted, I always like to give it to him. So I leaned over, and I remember like yesterday, I said, "I have a lot more money than you do." Just then, I don't know how, the camera guy, you know how they run over to the celebrity and they put his face on all the arenas. And he said, "I don't see your face up there, Lewis." So, looking back at my Temple experience, probably the single most important event in my career happened not inside, but outside the classroom. Our dean of students suggested that he wanted to have some campus life. Kids came on the subway, we went to class, we went home on the subway. So he said to me, I was working in the cloakroom in Minton Hall, and somebody else was working there, but he doesn't say he was working there anymore. That's a little bit below him. So he said, "Why don't you start a program where you'll have like an entertainment hour for the kids to come to for free?" We called it the Hour of Pleasure. Not that kind of pleasure. We didn't do things like that in those days. So here was the way it worked. We got $50 a show. In those days, I was making $1 an hour in the cloakroom. Dr. Cosby was just getting funnier and funnier in a place called Greenwich Village. So he was kind of disappearing. We figured out he could be a great booking agent from the Village to Temple. So he would meet somebody, talk to them, and I remember one group, they say, "Oh, you kids won't know, but everybody up there will know." He brought down the mamas and the papas. And they were wonderful. We paid them $35. That left over $15. Launching that show taught me marketing, creativity, and it really got me my first job. And from there, my journey was just beginning. I tell you all this because I hope you realize that this school can be your launching pad. It's recognized, it's respected, and it's loved by its alumni. It's not an ivory tower place. Nobody walking around like with their crew sweaters and their noses in the air. No, we're real. And if I learned anything, and I now be serious, from Bill Cosby, I learned at a very young age, at 20, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Now, that's not to say that there won't be knockdowns. Life has taught me that the only way to win when you're knocked down is to get up, dust yourself off, and go back into the race. When I was a kid, I dreamed of being an NBA player. But after being cut from my junior high school team and my high school team, I realized the only way I wasn't going to get cut is if I bought an NBA team. We bought the New Jersey Nets, my partners and I, in 1998. 1 week after buying it, the players went on strike. The NBA shut down and they canceled half the season. We quickly lost millions of dollars. Knockdown number one. We then went out because the governor said, if you want to build a new arena in Newark, New Jersey, you got to have 2 teams. So we bought the New Jersey Devils. We lost more millions. Knockdown number 2. Finally, somebody suggested that if we could merge the basketball team, which played 6 months from April to October, with the baseball team, the baseball team, April to October, and the basketball, November through maybe May, we could start a television network by showing those 2 teams. And so our partnership bought half of something called the New York Yankees. And no, I hate the Yankees. You shouldn't. I'm a Phillies. I come from Camden. We don't televise Yankees in Camden. But we started something called Yes, and it became the most successful regional sports network in history. And we sold it to Fox Sports. And then we didn't lose. I told you I was richer than Bill Cosby. So what is the message? The message is 2 things. The message is patience, and the message is grit. Now, I want to tell you something about your class that none of you know. I have a friend in your class that has more patience and more grit than any human being I've ever met. And if I may, I want to tell you that he's graduating today. And it has taken him 28 years working here to get this degree. Now, will you find Chappie for me, Captain Jeff Chapman of the Temple Security, 28 years. Now that is patience. And what about grit? Chappie just had, at the age of, I don't know, what are you, 69, Chappie? 2 twins, 6 months old. That's grit. He didn't quit. Took a while, Chappie, but you made it happen. So let me wrap up this and let me say, as much as I can be serious, that life, in my view, is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to have as much fun as you can conjure up. You may not come up with the cure for cancer. You may not start up a large internet company. Very few people have the beautiful voice of Jill Scott or the scientific mind of Dr. Jim West. But what you can do is you can make every effort in your life to make a difference. Remember, success isn't about material things. Watch, study people you admire. As much as I make fun of him, and as funny as he is, I most admire him when he talks about education. Because when Bill talks about education and parental responsibility, the whole world should listen. So, what's it all about? Work matters, but family matters more. Don't sell your soul to the workplace. Don't sell your soul to the workplace. Make time for those who need you and for the causes you believe in. And hold on to this. Hope, it keeps us going. Work gives life meaning. Time. I would like to have $1 in my life for all the time I wasted. Somebody would try to take money, I would fight like hell. Somebody said, oh, can I have an hour, 2 hours? Sure. Don't give away your time to fools, because you never get it back. And love. Without love, what's the point of all this? And yes, Temple made. So I will conclude by giving you what I think is the mantra of my life. There was a basketball coach, maybe the best ever in college, at UCLA, by the name of John Wooden. He said one thing that has resonated with me for as long as I've lived. He said, "You can't live a perfect day. You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you." Who will never be able to repay you. So, how fortunate am I to be standing here today to be able to give back because some unknown person 50-some years ago funded a scholarship at Temple, and an unknown person made the decision to open that door and give that scholarship to a kid from Camden. My hope and prayer for you, my friends, is that someday you graduates will be able to do the same thing. Godspeed and God bless you all.